it's Matthew from Mattchatt here. It's Wednesday the 27th of February, nearly the end of Feb, and I'm here to give you an update of what's happened in the last couple of weeks, especially in the Microsoft Exchange world and Office 365, as well as EMS, Enterprise Mobility and Security. So thank you first of all for watching, and let me give you a couple of highlights of what's happened in the last couple of weeks. So most of the stuff is in the Exchange world, and so on the 13th of Feb, Exchange blog, You Had Me at EHLO, released the quarterly updates for all the Exchange versions, Exchange Server 2010, 2013, 2016 and 2019. Now, historically, Exchange team release cumulative updates quarterly for their on-premises Exchange servers, and so this is the first quarter for 2019's update. It's released early because they are addressing some security vulnerabilities that were spoken about in a bunch of social media. There was a vulnerability that was reported, and so there was a lot of bad press about it, and so they've addressed that vulnerability with security updates, which they don't normally release in cumulative updates or CUs, or what used to be known as release updates, RUs. So they now have incorporated these security fixes in the latest quarterly update, because it makes there's necessary changes to the way that Exchange is working to address these security updates. So if you're running Exchange Server 2010, 2013, 2016 or 2019 on premises, I implore you to check out the blog and read and understand what is going to happen with that update before installing the update, and I suggest you test the update in a lab, because it's making changes in Active Directory, the rights that are required in Active Directory by Exchange, and there's different permission roles, shared permissions versus split permissions models. So check it out. It's important that you read and understand the updates that are coming for Exchange before deploying them. Okay, and then again on the 13th, same source, Exchange blog, You Had Me at EHLO, spoke about the deprecation of unified messaging in Exchange Online. So Exchange on-premises has been warning us that unified messaging would be deprecated and not supported, and the same goes for Exchange Online. So unified messaging, in case you didn't know, is the processing of voice calls in the form of a voicemail. So if your telephony system routes to your Exchange system, your Exchange server, and you're unavailable, you can get left a voicemail, and you get auto attendant features within Exchange, and those unified messaging features are going to be deprecated or no longer supported. So there are other methods of achieving the same kind of features using cloud voicemail by Microsoft or other cloud voice softwares, such as Microsoft Teams, for example. So there's a blog just explaining the deprecation or the retiring of unified messaging in Exchange Online. So check that out, because that's also important if you are running these kinds of features within Exchange Online. Then next, there was an update, in case you didn't know, if you use any of the to-do features within Office 365, it's a task feature. So historically, Outlook, you would have used the tasks feature or option. They've now incorporated To Do, which is a cloud service that Microsoft took over Wunderlist, and they've converted or using a lot of Wunderlist features in their product called To Do. And the roadmap item 34338 is just talking about the licensing. Well, essentially, the To Do licensing will be part of Exchange Online plans. So that's just a heads up that the licensing model is changing for that product, and you will also see that To Do will be integrated into your Outlook web app. So Outlook on the web will now have the To Do features in the tasks area of your Outlook. Then again, from the Exchange team, they've released on the 14th a nice Valentine's Day gift, 14th of February, a Mattchatt database, MCDB, setup guide. Now, in case you didn't know what the Mattchatt database is, it was spoken about at Ignite, both Ignite 2017 and Ignite 2018. 2018, they spoke about how the MCDB would be available in Exchange 2019, and it is. And now they're giving, so this article is directing you to a setup guide to set up the Mattchatt database, or the MCDB. Now, the MCDB is a storage feature or a caching feature that utilizes SSD drives in your Exchange server or your Exchange implementation. It's used currently in Exchange Online, and Exchange 2019 can now take advantage of these features, and they recommend that you use SSD drives in combination with normal spinning disk drives. So the feature enables fast searching and returning of results from hot items within your Exchange databases. And the guide is there with some PowerShell commandlets, new PowerShell commandlets for enabling the Mattchatt data or deploying Mattchatt database. So again, check out You Had Me at EHLO, February the 14th, the Mattchatt database setup guide. And then moving into the EMS space, so Enterprise Mobility and Security, Microsoft Intune announces device-only subscription for shared resources. So up until this point, if you deploy Intune or you deploy devices that are in a kiosk mode, you still needed to have a license for Intune, and you could only license a user for Intune. Now they've released device licenses, so you can license the devices for Intune. That means that a shared device or a kiosk device that is utilized by multiple users doesn't need to have a license assigned to one of those users, or any of those users for that matter. The device itself is licensed for Intune. So this is just going to help people where they only deploy kiosk devices and they don't Intune manage users per se, they only manage devices. This will reduce the licensing cost because they could have just those licenses for the devices. So the Intune device SKU is licensed per device per month. So check that out. Obviously, you'll have to contact your Microsoft partner or a representative for pricing. So that's it basically in the Intune space. There wasn't anything really exciting that was spoken about in the last couple of weeks. But if I move back over to Office 365, so Microsoft Forms Pro Preview was announced, or it was picked up in the roadmap, and so roadmap item 46517, and as you can see, they describe the Microsoft Forms Pro Preview. So with Forms Pro, you can get actionable feedback from customers in real time at every stage of their journey, improve organizational health with real-time feedback, build the products customers want, and leverage the data and tools you already use from Dynamics 365 Common Data Services and Power Platform. So I'm a little confused as to what Forms Pro will be. I use Forms, Microsoft Forms, extensively within my organization, and my organization has Office 365 E3 and E5 licenses, and I could be wrong, but I'm sure that the Microsoft Forms is part of those suites, those products. So I'm not sure what the Forms Pro preview is, but perhaps it's targeted at a different market or a different product suite, such as Microsoft 365 or Office 365 Business. So maybe it's not part of the business suite as we speak, and they're previewing it in that space. It could also be for individuals. So I have noticed, because I've played around with Forms, that Forms are available for individual users that have Office 365 Home and things like live mail, so Hotmail, for example. I can sign in with my Hotmail account and I have access to create forms. Maybe that's only a preview as well. So check out the roadmap. We'll have to see what happens. It was added to the roadmap on the 13th of Feb and last modified on the 21st of Feb. So we'll have to just keep an eye on what this roadmap is, what a roadmap item is, and see what's coming. And then finally, still within the Office 365 space, the tech community have an article on the Teams training modules for IT pros. Now, I think this is hugely valuable. Basically, it's training modules that are built to enable skills around Microsoft Teams for IT pros at customers and partners. Modules always consist of a video and PowerPoint deck. So they've released some content, some training material for IT pros to enable Teams, configure Teams, and get users within your environment using Teams, and how Teams affect customers in their environment. So this is a great resource. I look forward to getting stuck into some of these videos and decks. And so check out the tech community blog from Thomas Binder, which was published on the 20th of Feb, just highlighting these Teams training videos for IT pros. It goes along with a whole lot of other content that has recently been released about Teams. So check out the page, the blog. There's a couple of links to the videos and the PowerPoint presentations, and I think this is very valuable. It's going to be awesome stuff. I have yet to check out the actual videos and the decks, but my feeling is it's going to be good stuff that will be very useful to IT pros. And that is my updates for this week. So my tip for this week is last week my tip was about RSS feeds and getting information from there. Another source of information is where I get a lot of updates is Twitter. So I have something called TweetDeck. I look at Twitter through my TweetDeck, and I've created some columns with search criteria or hashtags or topics that I want to follow, and every time I look at my TweetDeck, I get updates for those columns or those features or those things that I'm looking for, those topics. So check out the TweetDeck if you are on Twitter. Even if you're not on Twitter, I think you can just passively watch Twitter using TweetDeck. So that's my tip for this week. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, and also check out my blog. That's mattchatt.co.za, Matt with 2 T's and chat with 2 T's.co.za. And please leave some comments, and hope to see you again next time.